These are the guts of a pair of CCTV multiplexers, in this case a Burl TC1474 on the bottom and an American Video Equipment QS402 on the top. And just an example of the varying construction techniques employed therein. Because this one dates from circa 1989 or thereabouts, judging by the date codes of the parts inside it. This one is from, there's a QC sticker on the bottom that says May 29th, 1998, which is an approximate date of manufacturing. Just put that over the side for a second there. This one there is LM337 variable low potential or variable negative potential regulator there, and a international rectifier RF9530. In this case, probably being employed as the pass transistor in a linear regulator, judging by the heatsink. And there's a down there. That's probably a 5 volt or 5.1 volt Zener diode for the supply for the logic on this, because this is virtually almost all TTL and CMOS stuff. There are a few other types of chips, like there's these two SerDips. These are MP7682 6-bit ADCs. And then these P2164B-15s. These are, I'm guessing, memory, because this thing does have the ability to show freeze frames, so these might just be the video memory for that. Then there are loads and loads and loads of CMOS and TTL. Like that's CD4017. Don't remember offhand what that is. CD4046, CD4013. These are 740C244s, which are line drive buffers. There's a number of them. CD740C08. Don't recall what that is offhand. These are 748C374s, octal D-type flip-flops, if I remember correctly. 748C174, those are also, I think, D-type flip-flops. A couple of LF353 operational amplifiers, one there, and one down here. There's jumper, some test points. This circuit, don't exactly know what it is, but there's a couple of capacitors, an inductor, and a PN2222. So I don't know, like video processing or something. There's this terminal block, which is for alarm inputs, where from what I can determine there are various inputs that are associated with the video signal from a particular camera that can be used to trigger an alarm, and presumably also automatically switch it to that particular video feed. There's this, which is a relay for a relay out, because it's also a contact closure that closes on an alarm condition. A trim pot, some resistor networks. These, which I'm guessing inputs, or the input management stages from the various alarm level inputs. These, which are the front ends for each video input, and there are 4 transistors in each one. There's a pair of PN2222s, this one and this one, a 2N4125 there, and a PN2907. And there's switches by each input, which are impedance selection, pretty much either high impedance or 75 ohm, which they just switch these 75 ohm resistors in and out of the circuit as termination. I haven't had a chance to really trace the schematic on this. And other than that, the only real other super interesting thing is the input PCB, because all the switches are PCB mount on the front panel. And thing really of interest is the thickness of the substrate. It looks to be at least 1/8 of an inch. Somewhere in that range, like 150 mils, something like that. Which looks to be done purely for mechanical reasons, so that the thing doesn't flex if you push a button. And that's it for pretty much this one. And the QS402 right here. Input controls are a little bit simpler. There's one idiot light for power input. That's just it glowing from the light overhead. That's obviously not on. A 105 selector switch, which selects for the monitor output either camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, or quad. This one also does that, but it's also got switches for alarm on and off and freeze frame. There we go. And of course this one has PCB mount, momentary buttons. This one has this indexing thing. One of these 105 type button arrangements. This one of course is a great deal simpler. The bulk of the work is done by these Actel A1020B FPGAs. Comes with some general array logic chips. These are Lattice JL16V8Bs. Again, nothing super fancy. There are a number of Gold Star branded chips. 74XX series TTL, nothing fancy. Another general array logic chip there. Some SRAM. And here are the video front ends for this unit. They're LM1881, which is I think an operational amplifier, and these JRC branded 2267D or 2003B chips. Some more of those, which are the I think just output buffers for the output signals, one of which is a continuously displayed quad video signal which goes to a video recorder, one of which is the one controlled by the switches on the front, which goes to the display monitor, and the power input, which is 12 volts at 600 milliamperes. Over here the 7805 potential regulator just mounted on the side of the case. Done for heat sinking, even though there's a footprint there. Obviously they couldn't really do that because it's got one of these adhesive plastic lugs mounting it, so I just remoted it. The other thing to note in the case is that there's this unused or used rubber sticky foam, so they might have reused the case when making this thing. That's a little bit weird, but I don't know. Don't know exactly where the thing was made. Might be domestic, although Gold Star, which is a Korean company, could be made there. I don't know exactly where the thing was made though. But yeah. A couple of these, one per channel most likely. They're KAD 0228s. Another thing to note about this is that a lot of the date codes in this thing, like 1993, was probably 1990, 1993. This looks to be a much older board than the unit, so this might just be a refitted in a previously existing case. Don't know exactly, but yeah. And of course that the resistor network just bodged onto that one GAL chip right there. Some weird that.